In the year 627, a small city rested in the desert. This city was Medina. It was a place of peace. But peace was about to be broken. Not a storm of rain, but a storm of men. A great army was on its way. They were 10,000 strong. Swords glittered in the sun. They galloped towards the narrow spot. As the horsemen got closer, they saw it. A dark line in the earth. It was wide. It was deep. The horses stopped suddenly. They could not cross. The Quraysh leaders were furious. Their plan was ruined. The trench stretched across the plain like a scar on the desert. The siege had begun. The idea for the trench came from a man named Salman al-Farisi. Every man helped, every woman helped, every child helped. Their hands bled, their backs ached, yet they did not stop. They worked together as one. The trench was finished in a few days, a miracle of labor and faith. The Muslims stood safe on the other side. The horsemen rode back and forth on their side of the trench, like angry lions in a cage. They shouted insults and shot arrows, but could not reach the city. Days into a week, then 2 weeks. Soldiers grew bored and frustrated. It became a psychological weapon. The uncrossable line wasn't just dirt, it lived in the defenders' hearts. They finally found a place, a section a little bit narrower than the rest. One of the warriors was a man named Amr ibn Abd Wud, famous for his strength. With a great leap, Amr's horse cleared the trench.
Is there no one who will fight me?
The Muslim soldiers looked at each other. Who would dare? Then a man stepped forward. It was Ali ibn Abi Talib. He was young, he was brave, he was full of faith. Ali walked calmly toward the giant. Amr laughed.
I do not wish to kill you.
But I wish to kill you.
The two men began to fight. Swords clashed. The fight was fast and fierce. Amr was strong. Ali was quick and skillful. He found an opening, and with a powerful strike, Ali defeated the great warrior. The other Quraysh riders panicked and fled, scrambling back across the trench. The Quraysh army watched in disbelief. Their hero was gone. The Muslim spirit soared. The siege continued. The days were long. The nights were longer. They were tired. They were hungry. The city was full of women, children, the elderly. The pressure was immense. They sent messengers to a tribe living inside Medina. They tried to convince this tribe to betray the Muslims. The Muslims now had to watch the enemy in front of them and worry about enemies behind them. It felt like a string stretched so tight it was about to snap. The Muslims prayed. They asked God for help. The Prophet Muhammad spent his nights in prayer. The siege had lasted for almost a month. They stood on the edge of history, waiting for the dawn. Then, on a dark and moonless night, it came. At first it was just a whisper, but it grew stronger and stronger. A mighty wind began to howl across the desert. It was a furious, violent sandstorm. The sky turned black with dust and sand. The wind tore at the Quraysh tents. It ripped them from the ground. It sent them flying through the air. The soldiers could not see. The sand whipped their faces. It filled their eyes and mouths. Panic erupted in the Quraysh camp. The wind was a monster. It screamed in their ears. It put out their fires. The darkness was total. Then, the sky opened up. A cold, heavy rain began to fall. It turned the sandy ground into thick mud. Thunder roared like 1,000 lions. Lightning flashed across the sky. It lit up the scene of chaos. The soldiers were terrified. They were cold, wet, and scared. Their horses and camels cried out in fear. It felt like the world was ending. The leaders of the Quraysh could not control their men. There was no order. There was only chaos and fear. They believed this storm was a punishment from God.
The commander, Abu Sufyan, shouted an order. We are leaving.
Every man for himself! Go home! The soldiers ran into the storm. When morning came, the sun rose on a quiet desert. The Muslims looked out from their side of the trench. The giant Quraysh army was gone. Their camp was destroyed. All that was left were abandoned tents and supplies. The siege was over. The city was safe. The Muslims fell to their knees. They thanked God. They had not been defeated by a sword. They had been saved by a storm. With faith, cleverness, and a wind from heaven, they had won.